Hey guys, Josh Hankin here, creator of the DVRT Ultimate Sandbag Core Training Systems. What I want to do today is talk to you about one of my favorite drills. It's actually one of the drills I like the least, but I love what it does for my body. It's a drill that's not actually unique to the Ultimate Sandbag or DVRT, but the way we're going to put some spin on it is. So what is it? It's the Bulgarian Split Squat. Why is it called the Bulgarian Split Squat? I have no idea. It could be from Dallas for all I know. It's a name that sort of caught on, but it simply refers to one foot being elevated and squatting down. Now, it's not necessarily a lunge because we're not stepping as we're doing it. We're, again, sort of squatting. Why is this such a great exercise? For one, it builds flexibility, which really a lot of other drills don't. You need flexibility to squat. This actually builds it on the process. It allows you to see imbalances between your two sides, which is super important. It also builds single leg stability and leg strength. If you think about it, I can't think of a time that anyone's actually hurt their back doing Bulgarian split squats. So you can really load up the legs, work on a lot of qualities at once. And one of the most undervalued aspects is what happens with the feet. When my back foot is up on the platform, I actually like to go my toes down into the ground. The reason being because a lot of people have lost toe mobility, especially big toe mobility, and when you lose that, it impacts the joints all along up the chain. So it's not too surprising that people that have toe problems also have knee, hip, and low back problems. So having that toe mobility is really important. That's why I don't like putting it over rollers or other things. I want that toe planted. The foot that's on the ground is also being worked. It allows that barefoot instability because we have frontal plane forces. So a lot of good reasons to do this. So I'm going to show you some ways we put our DVRT spin on it so that you can get a ton of benefit out of your Bulgarian split squats. Alright, so what we're going to look at is how to vary your holding positions, because how we're going to hold the Ultimate Sandbag when we do our Bulgarian split squat is how we're going to increase the intensity of the exercise. We don't increase the weight by 5 or 10 pounds. We're going to change how we hold the weight to get those incremental changes. You're going to find certain positions might be pretty easy. Great. Those are the things you're going to use when you're tired or you really want to load up your Ultimate Sandbag. You're going to find other ones more challenging you're going to use earlier in your workouts or with lighter weights as you can build up some strength and stability. As far as the step itself, you want to start with a pretty small step. 12 inches works. You can go smaller, but you can also increase the intensity by increasing the height of the step. I'm using about 12 inches right now so I can talk to you and do this at the same time. So because the Bulgarian split squat is such an unstable body position, we're going to start in a stable holding position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power clean my Ultimate Sandbag up into our front load position. Now what's going to be very important is keeping the weight in towards my body, pressing it in. I'm going to put one foot back up on the platform and coming straight down. I want to try to get as deep as I can and drive up. Now my goal is to keep the torso as vertical as possible. So I don't want to really lean forward. If I'm leaning, it's probably meaning my hips are really tight or the step too high or I'm using too much weight. Now, not too bad, right? It's a really tough drill. You're going to find your heart rate spikes. All I have to do to make that a little bit more difficult is bring that into the front load fist position. Sort of like what we do to clean and press. So all I'm going to do again is clean and bring it to my fist. By being my fist, I'm just changing leverage enough. Again, make sure I get on that platform there, where the leverage changes and it's a different stress upon my body. And again, that little bit of change goes a long ways in making the exercise easier or harder. Alright? Now, I can use that concept and do our offset grip. So offset is when I start introducing asymmetrical holds. So, what I can do, roll up one end, clean one end up to fist. Now, it depends which leg I have forward. If I have my right hand holding the weight, I would actually start with my right leg back because of the cross pattern. If I want to make it harder, just switch my legs up, have all the weight on the same side, and that's a subtle way of making the exercise more difficult. So right there we have 4 positions that we can use. We're just starting with the fun. Now, I can also build up into the shoulder position. Love the shoulder position, especially in Bulgarian split squats. Really working a lot of those cross patterns, that side plank. So we have sort of the side plank of the hip in the Bulgarian split squat. Now we're going to the side plank of the load. So like my offset grip, whatever shoulder has the weight will be the first leg to start with. So if I have my weight on my right shoulder, I'm going to have my right leg back first because of the cross pattern. Got a little bit too close there. So I want to really make sure I open up that back hip Get as deep as I can. Now, to make it more difficult, I would keep it on the same side. So if I do the weight on my right shoulder, my right leg forward, this is actually more difficult. You can actually see it's a little bit harder for me to stabilize. I'm going to show you one more kind of advanced drill before I pull Jessica in to do our last Bulgarian Split Squat. We're going to do 2 drills that throw everything for a loop. Before we get to more leverage, I'm going to add a little bit more movement. So I'm going to go back to my front load position. Get a little workout in here. Now, I'm back in this position, my stable position, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a little bit, got a little close there, a little rotation just to my T-spine as I come up. So I'm digging in the rear leg, not allowing my lumbar spine to rotate, and creating some forces through the torso, but using that rear hip to stabilize. So really powerful drill. The last one I'm going to show you before I pull Jessica in, and she's going to show you some badass exercises, is a little bit of rotation. So we can take our concepts of any of our drills because it's a principle-based system, and so I can come down, drive up. So this looks like my rotational lunge, but instead of adding a big swing to it, I'm going slower by having the instability of the step. So alright, front load fist, offset, shoulder. We have the rotational and the front load fist rotational. We got almost 8 drills because you also switch sides. You're going to see in our blog how we lay these out in order of progressions. So what you can do is you can pick one, or you can start with the hardest one, the more intermediate one, and then finish with an easy one. I'll show you in our blog post at DVRT Fitness how to do that, but we're going to come for the last 2 drills that you're going to love. Alright, so when you got monkey arms that don't fit in the camera, you pull someone else in to help you with the last couple of variations. So as we climb up the ladder of the body and change leverage, it increases the intensity again. So what Jessica's got, she's got a core ultimate sandbag here, and she's grabbing the outside handles. You could do this with a strength or burly and you'd have it upon the fist. She's going to clean and press overhead, and this gives us a large leverage point. She's going to get into that Bulgarian split squat position, and now she's going to do straight overhead. This is awesome because of the stretch that you get and the core engagement that you get at the same time as increasing the stress upon the lower body. Nice, Jess. Now she's going to come down. We got one more option here. She's going to go snatch grip. She's going to snatch the weight overhead. Now the difference being in this is actually going to give you more feedback. So a lot of times you'll get more extension, so you have a little bit more control. You need to fight that with a little more core engagement. If you're using the large ultimate sandbags on the fist, is a little bit more unstable. So now she can really tie in some upper back work. Nice, Jess. And get nice and deep in there. So a phenomenal series that you can use. If you're going to go overhead, I'd start that as your first set. Go ahead and go either the rotational front load position or rotational by the hip, and then finish up either a front hold or on the fist position. If you do that, 6 to 8 reps for each series, you're going to have an amazing workout super fast. It's one of my favorite drills because now you're going to get strong, you're going to get huge metabolic output, and build all the qualities of fitness at once. So check out more of this at dvrtfitness.com.